I have no idea what you're going to say next. But if you were an LLM and I asked you a question, I'd have a pretty good idea that the answer would have something to do with my question.
Mm. So let's say, for example, this is something that I do. I have been recently feeding transcripts from interviews and sales calls into Gemini and asking it to analyze the transcript and tell me what I've done well and how I can improve. And sure, it's positive, right? You said it's sycophantic. And it says, oh, well, you were really good at this, and this, and here's why, here's how you can improve. So it's never like, you're so bad at this thing. It's always like positive. And I've seen people prompt AI to say, hey, don't give me any nonsense, right? I don't want any of that crap. Just be honest with me. What's the raw reality? And personally, I find that it's actually working quite well to help me to understand how I can improve. And so I feel like in the recent month or two, I've been able to get a lot better at being an interview host, even though I'm constantly trying to improve. But with the help of the AI, it's telling me very specific things about what I could be doing, and definitely including talking less and giving the guests more time to speak. So while I agree with you that people are not using it correctly, I also think there's a tremendous value in doing it that way.
Without a doubt, there's value. I mean, these tools are extremely valuable. We just have to know their limitations. So for your example, it's giving you back feedback, not necessarily as it relates to you as a human. It is taking what you as a human have done. It is running it against best practices that are known in the literature, right, that have been written about, that basically out there in this bolus of information that the human species has created. And it's coming back and saying, okay, well, based on that, here are things that you could improve. And those are very valuable, very valuable. It is not going to come back and say, based on this, when you have this type of person that has this type of experience that you've asked these sorts of questions to beforehand, you need to be aware that this could be the case, and thus you need to re-ask the question this way. Like all of that last mile of interaction, it's not there because there's no rule set against it. Like there's too much emergence that happens between an individual when you between two individuals when you're talking together, and then there's emergence that's happening within you that when you're talking, right? So it's that part of it is not rule based, and thus the LLMs they can't tackle that last mile.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this insight, I've handpicked another video for you right here on the screen. For more actionable strategies that get you real results, hit subscribe.